I guess so.
You gonna share a bed with? You gonna share a bed?
Good point. We're all crammed in a little place that didn't have 2 extra people in it, and I'm growing by the day.
You are. We'll get
How
to
big
that.
are the beds?
They're king size beds. They're big. It's a presidential or executive suite.
Stanley,
Okay, the beds
Stanley, you
be
can sleep
shared.
with me. Stanley, do you want to sleep with me?
Absolutely not until you have a body.
Oh.
Why don't you hover somewhere?
Well, I'll hold you to that. I can't sleep and hover, or can I?
There is a couch available.
Oh, I'll sleep on the couch. You can have the bed. I'm not really. Doesn't matter where I am, honestly, until I'm fixed.
All right, and anticipating, how many days do you think you just spend in recuperation? A week?
How long would it take me to get everything back?
You've paid out a month, so let's calculate that. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 14, 15, 16, maybe 8 days.
Okay. Well, then I will, for sure, at least 8 days of convalescence. Hang around town, bug Bill a little bit, sleep at night, gain parts back, that sort of stuff.
Is everyone in agreement with 8 days?
Hope's gonna be ready to go the next day because she doesn't remember what happened. It's like a foggy dream. She's gonna want to start re-equipping and finding how to get back.
Okay, well, we can get to that. So before the 8 days occurs, I just wanted a sense of, does anyone else have anything to input on the amount of time they'd like to rest?
I mean, I'm fine with the overall amount of time, but like Hope, Stanley would have things to do in that time. He would not just be contained to a hotel room.
We can talk about that. So Bill suggests at one point to Varel that given the restlessness the next day, it might be a good idea for him to talk to his friends about having some sort of family meeting to discuss things. So before the 8 days haven't elapsed. This evening's kind of a write-off that you brought Hope and Stanley back for the first time because of all the people in the bar. But the next morning around lunch, everyone gets up, is confused. Bill makes a delicious brunch for everybody, and he sits everyone down at the table and leaves you to it.
So this is the day after.
Yes, we're now the next day.
Can you tell me? Can I make up a body part that I
grow?
have? Yeah.
What'd you grow back?
And just for clarification, I'm coming back and Nash as he was, right? I don't get any bonuses. No, my skin's not all cleared up.
It's your choice. You're regrowing your body, so do you want things to regrow a little differently?
Well, I mean, I wouldn't mind coming back without all my pox and boils and everything.
That might be difficult.
No, okay. Well, that's what I meant. So if I can't do that, then I'll just be me. It's fine.
Okay.
So that first day is going to be my tiny little neck hand is going to come out of one of these aorta things and be there.
A neck hand?
Yeah. My baby hand.
Oh, okay. Your baby hand.
Yeah, my shoulder hand thing.
I thought you were calling your neck a hand, or I was confused. No. Okay, perfect. So you got your little baby hand. So everyone's seated at the table in sort of a family meeting style. There's a delicious breakfast brunch with sausages, like a plate full of sausages, eggs, sort of oatmeal style thing. Coffee for everyone with arcane spice. So you guys need to have a talk. So I thought I'd set out a nice spread. Well, it's Pam's idea. You need to tell your friends what's going on here. It's the Sigil. Good luck. And then Bill moves off to the bar.
Well, Varel, do you want to explain this? Since you've sort of been leading our little weird bandwagon all week, or all month, or however long we've been here.
Friends, this is day 5 since we arrived here. Your bodies were extremely valuable. They were wanted by some sort of authority, and I would have become very rich selling them, apparently. I found a trickster cleric who bade me to follow them to a temple where I rested your corpses, though they didn't smell. Upon completion of a great humiliation, I received as payment you. And I am very pleased to have you back. I have no idea how to get out of here. This is a city in the middle of something, and people come and go, but I don't know how.
But
I have no idea where...
This isn't like where we're from. This isn't our world.
No. This is something in between. Did you all see the Great Face while you traveled through space?
I did not. I didn't see anything.
Most curious. I was propelled here by a great force. Ideally the light that we implanted ourselves inside, saving the world. Grosjean seems to have protected me to this point, and had to shed himself of me in order to survive. So we find ourselves here, in a new place, with nowhere to go. And I have an appointment later today to install a big-time Smack'ems machine in this very room.
I'm sorry, a what?
It's a long story, Stanley. It's a sport they play here, sort of. And Varel became its greatest champion while you were gone.
Oh, like a fighting thing.
Sort of, yes.
Definitely understand why Varel would be good at that.
Yes, let's say it was a little less of a physical challenge than you would normally think with Varel, but it turns out his instincts were good, and we also prepared well, and he dominated.
This was the humiliation you're talking about.
Yes. That earned your freedom from the Mears. Now, I do not need to tell you that I'm not sure you're real. Are we in agreement?
I mean, I'm not entirely sure about any of this myself. Last time I saw Nash, he had a body, and I didn't think it could get any uglier than it did, and here we are.
I will wave my tiny hand from its aorta at Stanley in a sarcastic manner.
Not to mention, no offense, Hope, but you were also missing a couple limbs last time we saw you, and well, did the bodies that were on the slab, were those missing the limbs?
No.
And now suddenly here you are with your body intact. So even I'm not entirely sure this is real, Varel.
It reminds me of something Master Beltnotch told us in the Solar Mines, which was there was a place in between. He called it a purgatory.
Beltnotch.
Yeah, Beltnotch was his name. And awesome. Master Beltnotch told us all that when we would die, we wouldn't necessarily go to the far place. We would actually be stuck in a place he called a purgatory. And it was the in-between, and I have a feeling that that's what this is. So I don't even know if I'm done growing all my shit back, if it's even going to be worth it, because who knows how we get out of here or what's on the other side. And the fact that Hope has all her limbs and looks like the day she was born makes no sense to me. I don't get it. She should be all torn up and have metal parts missing. But yet here we are.
Thing, it didn't get rid of everything. I still have as I got when I was little.
I think we're in this place that Beltnotch mentioned. I didn't believe him.
There's more to it as well. We can hurry back to our own world. We can escape, fight our way if we need to. However, this place also has certain benefits. Expert craftsmen, and a pair of goggles I would very much like to recover that allow me to see your soul. You may be able to, in this place, escape your demonic deal.
Really?
Yes. It's why your souls were so valuable, marked by the Weir.
So you actually saw our souls, and it bore a mark for the Weir?
I never wore the glasses myself, but Squirts I'm sure will be around to tell the story. The story will be disjointed, but you will get the whole of it.
All right. This is definitely a lot to take in, but fine. We're here. We might as well start working on getting out of here.
We need ammo. We need weapons. We need ammo. We need to gear up again.
Not to mention clothes. Better clothes.
The clothes we can do, the weaponry will not suffice here. There is a sort of shield, a sort of watcher that makes sure this land goes free of violence for the most part. And all the weapons in the marketplace are of low quality, decorative, if you will.
They call it the Lady of Pain, Stanley. As sexy as that might sound to your half-elf libido, but she is a rough customer and will tear you a new butthole if you break any of the rules, use your weapons, or otherwise cross her in any way.
All right. Well, I will make a note not to do that. Thank you very much, Nash.
So,
Well, you're experienced here. What do you think would be the best bet for us? You seem well situated. How did you get money?
by winning the tournament.
Oh, right.
But those are finite funds. I plan to purchase this establishment, re-engage myself in business, and have ourselves a steady income of sorts. But it will be slow, and our time here may be long.
I have some gold, and I'm willing to use it any way we want. I have a notion that once we leave this in between, it won't be there anyway, so we should spend it while we're here. I have 607 pieces of gold, which should go some ways to get our clothes problem figured out.
Well, if you can get me to the market district, I have a plan. I might be able to arrange some things for myself, wherever that may be.
Very good. I know a guy. Hope. Are you
Yes.
well?
What do you mean?
You seem disturbed by your liminalities.
Liminalities.
Just doesn't make sense.
Oh, trust me, you'll see things here that make zero sense. On the one hand, it has the veneer of everyday life. People drinking and eating and working and scattering around, children playing, all the sort of stuff you might expect in a big, clean city like this. But then something weird will happen and the Lady of Pain will show up, or ninjas will jump out of nowhere. And we don't have weapons to fight with, so it's great.
What are ninjas?
Oh, how do I put it? Assassins.
But I thought you couldn't fight.
Well, so did we. But apparently they could, and the Lady of Pain let that one go. But she gets real pissed if you cheat at the esports here. So I guess what I'm saying is it's all upside down. Nobody knows left from right. And one minute you may think you've got it figured out, and then you don't. I suggest we continue to move through this space knowing that and having low expectations. Put our head down, get the work done, do what we got to do, and then figure out a way out of here. Hopefully we survive.
Well, regardless of all of that, has not escaped my notice that we are in the ultimate city, and it's not on fire, and it looks like you all managed to bring us back. So, Vorel, thank you. You have done an amazing job.
Stanley, that means very much. I would embrace you both greatly if I didn't think you were both evil mere people at the moment.
That's fair.
Hope you as well. I am overcome with emotions, but I am keeping my guard up until you both prove yourselves.
We should ask something that only they would know.
That's a good idea, Nash.
I can't think of anything. Hold on. Oh, Stanley, what happened the last time I used sleep? Tried to put some people to sleep. What happened?
It probably didn't go exactly as you planned because you fail at everything you attempt.
So you don't remember the exact moment or the time that happened?
No, I don't remember the last time you tried to put someone to sleep.
Oh shit, that's not a good question then.
Why? What happened?
Okay, hold on. I'll turn to Rel and kind of whisper. Well, what she should do is tell them. We should tell them a fake thing that never happened, and if they act like, "Oh yeah, I remember that," then we know they're lying and it's not them. Do you know what I'm saying? So we could say, "Hey, remember that time you guys made a chocolate sundae in my belly button?" And they'll
Are
say,
you talking about the time you killed somebody by putting them to sleep, Nash?
"Ah, shit, that's the one." All right, never mind.
Yeah, I wasn't there for that. You should check your memory.
Oh. But I
You told me about it later, and I wondered out loud why you were bragging about it.
Well, then that's the same deal. Okay, they're real. I think Stanley's real. That sounds real enough.
You're convinced.
We don't have to make up the Sunday and the belly button thing. It's fine. I say it every round.
Your belly button sundae may still be of use one day. However, I believe if we can get the gem from Squirts, we can verify for sure that you are the same individual.
It ever hit you all at once how absurd the conversation
Scott, for audio listeners, Scott nearly spit his drink. He was taking a drink and it was this close to coming out all over the place.
Because he said the phrase, "We've got to get the," what was it from Squirts? We got to get the stone.
Get the gem from
Yeah, we got to
Squirt.
get the gem from Squirts. Just, it sounds so dumb if you don't know what we're doing. I love it. All right, sorry. And he said it with such earnestness. Oh, that was bad. All right.
That is quest number 1. Step number 1, however, is to establish ourselves here, because if you all do not make income, there is some sort of payload organization that comes and gives you a blacksmith job, and you will have to do manual labor.
Well, that seems odd, but not up my alley. I will come up with an alternative. Thank you.
Their work placement program is extremely energetic.
That's one way of putting it.
But we need clothes.
Well, should we divide and conquer? Someone goes and gets this gem that we need. I could go and see what I can scrounge up at the market district. Nash, you can work on getting your pieces in order, and Hope, maybe you can find some weapons and ammo as well.
Good.
Bill,
Bill goes, yeah. Good talk over there.
yes, thank you. Very kind. You mentioned you were going to retire in a different plane.
Yeah, I wanted to see the Feywild.
How does one get to different areas out of this city?
No one's told you.
No.
Not even the factols that came. Didn't explain things to you.
They were very insistent about my menial labor.
He wipes off his fingers with the rag. He puts the rag on the counter. He comes forward. And he sits down at the table. And he takes one of the sausages and takes a bite out of it. He chews with his mouth open so you can see sausage in his mouth. This place is called the Cage. Why do you think it's called the Cage?
You mean where we are right now?
Yeah. Sigil.
Is
Also known as the Cage.
It's because we're trapped here.
Everyone's trapped here. But there are ways in and out of the cage. The cage is a figure of speech in a way. It's not literally a cage where we're kept, but you do know how to find the doors and know how to unlock the doors. The word used is portal. Have you ever heard of the word portal before?
I've heard it. Never seen a practical application of it. At least
Well,
not really.
the cage is lousy with portals. They're everywhere, but hidden at the same time.
Oh wait, what am I saying? Stanley's seen a lot of portals.
Yeah,
He
you've
used to
seen
have a
portals.
portal gun. We
Yeah.
used to make them.
Yeah.
So the secret is
Portals.
finding one of these portals. And the portals go everywhere. They go to the outer planes. They even go to the the planes of creation, like the plane of salt, where there's nothing but salt as far as the eye can see. These planes can also take you back to the prime material. That's where we're all from in some shape or form. Where beings, living and breathing, come from. Finding these keys and these portals are no easy feat. And some earn coin from controlling them where they're found. So I imagine you guys are talking about getting back to where you come from. To do that, you'll need a portal.
All right. How would we begin?
Well, where do you come from?
The
'Cause
waste?
if your goal is just to find a portal, then if any portal will do, you can find one quite easily. But you're perhaps looking for a specific portal to these wastes. Is there no other name for where you're from?
When
It
I was-
used to be referred to as Earth.
Yeah.
You may find someone who knows of this earth. Perhaps it, it might be best if you went to the clerk's ward. In the ward of the clerks, they track ownership of things. They take care of monitoring stock investments, trade securities, things of that nature. Any official passage through portals might also be in the records there, and you may find some information about who owns what portal to this Earth. Is it called Earth?
Earth. It was once called Earth.
I mean, that's what I've
It's
read.
like being in a place called Sand.
Yeah, it's a little
or
weird.
bricks.
Yeah.
Look, I didn't name the place. It's just called Earth. That's what I read.
All right.
Don't mind Stanley, Bill. He's impatient. That's his MO.
I mean, I'd like to retire in the Feywild. Imagine if it was called the Forest.
Right. It is weird. We will admit it. We call it the waste now. Great calamities happened. It's a whole story, but it's our home.
Wait, the Feywild's real?
Well, yeah. I'm married to an elf. They won't shut up about the Feywild.
I've heard it, but it's where I'm from more akin to a fairy tale than any practical reality.
The Feywild's no fairy tale, Mr. Elf. What's your name? Do you have a name?
You can call me Stanley.
Stanley? That ain't an elf name.
No, but I'm a half elf, so.
Oh. Oh.
It really dawned on him there.
And your parents, your father was a human and your mother was an elf?
No, other way around.
And what was that like? Did you grow up happy?
I didn't know them for too long, but yes, for the time that I knew them, I was happy.
You didn't grow up with your parents.
No. On
What
where
happened?
where I'm from, elves and the idea of a half elf is something of a rarity. And apparently it caught the eye of a slaver, and they took me as a oddity and murdered my family.
I'm sorry to hear it. I'm so sorry. See,
That's
I
how
was
this
gonna.
is done.
I was gonna. What?
That was it. Stanley,
What?
you've been moping since the day I met you, and you've never told me the story.
Well,
Hope.
no,
Why do you mope? Tell me your childhood.
I did
Moping hope.
back in the Weir.
We did?
Yes. Right before we saw Katoble.
Huh. Bill, where did you grow?
Bill's turned ghostly white.
Where did you grow up, Bill?
Katoble Praise.
Did you have a young love that you...
Hope's gonna silently curse herself.
You've met Katoble Praise?
Wait, that.
Yeah.
No, never mind. Nash is shutting up.
Are we no longer telling stories?
Just. That's a name people don't utter around here.
Why?
Weir Lords are the most dangerous of all beings of all the outer planes. Even those gods. From the abyss to the 9 hells. Tremble at the prospect of crossing a Weir Lord. They are from a place known as the Far Realm. Even farther than the outer planes. And you've been to see them. How?
We had a key.
You had a key.
Mm-hmm.
Where did you get this key from?
It was given to us by dude's name I don't remember.
Katoble Praise?
No, the coffee one.
Yeah.
initially, we found our way there from some sort of ritual. We tried to stop, and next thing we knew, we were pulled into their realm. Nash is right, we did eventually get a key to return there, but I believe that is long gone at this point.
Yeah.
Well, good riddance. And may you never go back there. If you survived whatever the Weir Realm is, then and you survived death a second time.
We agree they were dicks.
I must admit I underestimated you. I thought you were just a bunch of new clueless arrivals, but you've traveled the plains before. Coming to Sigil.
Bill, I am a great hero. I've told you this many times.
That's what they all say, Varel. You can't blame me for being cautious. You don't even trust that your friends are, yeah, I was eavesdropping. You don't even trust that your friends are really good guys until you use an ethereal spectrometer to analyze them.
There, yes, I need one of those, Bill. Where can I get one?
I don't know. I don't deal in the dead.
Right. We can go beat up gnomes.
I mean, just go to the market. You can find everything there. You've got the money.
Or we
You
can...
can probably rent it, and they're probably too expensive to just buy, but I'm sure an enterprising wizard would let you use their ethereal spectrometer to analyze your friends.
Or we could beat up gnomes in the basement of the city, and
Why are we beating up gnomes? How does that get us what we need?
well, they have them. They wear them when they hunt the bodies downstairs.
Oh,
I mean, that's not an ethical course of action, Varel.
yes. It seems if there's a being that frowns on violence, maybe if we have a option that doesn't require beating up gnomes, we should follow that one first.
Look, before she said that weird C word, I was just going to ask you what it was like to be a half-elf. 'Cause Pam and I are thinking of having kids. Are you happy to have been born a half-elf?
I mean, honestly, I don't exactly know what it was like. I grew up in a household that was very, I believe, was very elf inspired. I only spoke Elvish for most of my early life. That's where I heard tales about the Feywild and Elhandar and all sorts of other things. But truth be told, I don't have a lot of experience with it. After that, I was just an oddity.
Well, it seems like you turned out maybe okay. Although, like Varel, I still have to get to know you.
It's seems better here. I'm sure whatever you and Pam, you said, decide to do will be fine.
Can I get you anything more to eat or drink, Stanley?
No, I'm fine for right now. Thank you.
All right. He's like, if you don't need anything else from me, I'm going to start cleaning up.
Thank you, Bill.
Sure.
Nash, did you grow up happy?
Kinda, yeah. But I've told you this, I've hinted at this before. I was raised in such a way to believe that we were the greatest generation of younglings and that we were to do great things with our lives until it all fell apart and I saw what was truly happening and what they were reserving us for. So yeah, I grew up happy, but it was a fake kind of happy, which fueled my rage and pisses me off to this day.
Fascinating. So simple questions is all we needed.
For
We know
example,
so little about each other.
For example,
Yes, please do.
Belt Notch. I told you about Belt Notch.
Yes, I'm excited.
He raised us like a father. We trusted him. And he trained us to be strong-willed and to be kind to each other and to do the work that we had laid before us. But he, along with all the other adults in our life, turned on us. And it was the first time I'd ever looked a betrayal in the face. And I will never forgive Belt Notch or any of the others that helped shape us as young men and young women in the solar mines. My point is, if you wonder why I don't trust a lot of people in the wastes here, wherever we've gone, it's because I've been at the tip of some great betrayal. But I was raised nicely. It was okay. We ate well and we lived well and we were happy. But then it all went to shit.
What about you, Varel? I know you have told us a little bit about your past, but were you a happy hatchling?
I like this. Yes. Yes, I was a happy hatchling. And in fact, I had a great upbringing.
Do you remember
was-
your parents?
No, there was no point. My dad seeded many, and I was but one. It didn't matter who. Fascinating. Do you wish to kill your father, Nash?
Well, he wasn't my real father.
Right. Excellent.
But if I knew, knowing what I know now, my real father may yet live. But we were raised to believe, it's a long story, but we were raised to believe that we were now the sons and the daughters of this place. And our real parents were just a mystery. So I don't know where my real father is. I don't necessarily want to murder him, but when I find out why he left me, took me there and dumped me at the door of this horrendous place that would betray me so horribly some years later, perhaps we'll have words, but I don't hold my experience there against him. I don't even know him. I was there as an infant.
Nash, I know I am sometimes a bit insensitive to your plight. Understand I ask this with actual respect and curiosity. Are you sure you're actually even human?
I mean, no. Lately, I've got that same question. I'm floating around like a heart with a bunch of shit hanging out of it. So, I've kind of questioned everything and since we've been here. I, at the very least, questioned the basics of my heredity, but I don't know if I'll ever know. So I won't get hung up on it. But I still desire revenge against those who have wronged me and my brothers and sisters of the solar mines. That will stand until every last drop of blood is spilt by those bastards. But I don't know, maybe I'm not all human. I have no idea. I'm just a floating heart with no penis, just making his way in the world today. Doing what I can. Bringing back my friends from the dead. Hanging out with Varel. Eating food and having it go nowhere. That's my life now.
This was nice. I like this. We should sit at meals and reminisce more often. I feel closer, though we've been apart for so long.
I agree. It's a shame that it took death to bring us closer together. So, here's to reminiscing, knowing more about one another.
And to burning down all of our pasts.
Sure.
To the market, then.
Yes, to the market.
All right. So you guys gonna spend some time shopping today?
Yep.
Well, Stanley has kind of a weird plan for the market.
Oh, good.
So we're there, I would imagine.
Well, I mean, do you tell your other party members your plan, or is it a weird?
Yeah,
secret
I
plan?
guess as we walk there, Stanley would say, "Now, I have a plan to help get the ball rolling, get me back on my feet. It might be best if you all just let me do my thing and go your separate ways for the moment."
That's something that an evil mere person would say.
It's fine, Vorel. It's just trying to get... I'm going to rely on the charity of others. Magically speaking.
You're going to beg in the streets.
Essentially, yes.
Nothing. Could you protect Stanley during his begging?
Nothing went to go do her job. It's not
Damn.
obvious.
Squirts!
There's
All
no
right.
squirts.
Don't end up in the news.
I will try not to, though you said violence is frowned upon in this place. I'm simply going to talk to a couple
Now,
individuals.
John, you are aware that Pharrell has money, or has that not been shared?
I don't think Stanley knows that. Either way, Stanley...
He
is
knows I have
probably-
money.
Stanley's probably Walter Whiting it a bit, and a bit too proud to ask for handouts, and is gonna show that he can make it on his own.
Okay, fair enough.
Oh yeah, things turned out for Walter White, so that's good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he really did that.
Yeah.
He really made things happen.
Okay,
Yeah.
so Stanley's gonna go off on his own. What does the rest of the party do?
I'm gonna float over to the men's section and
The men's
men's
section?
section of the market.
Yeah, to see if I
Only
can
boys over here.
just kind of scope out what my future, because I can't wear anything yet, but I might buy something ahead of time, so I'm all
The
set to go.
dimensional Dillards.
Yeah, yeah. Get a cloak all ready to
You're looking
go.
for a clothing stall or clothing shop?
Yeah, I'm looking for clothes.
All right, well, you guys going to go together, or is everyone splitting off to shop?
I'm happy to follow people around as long as we can go look at some cloaks.
All right, so speaking a little more practically, Varel has most of the money. Nash has the rest. Are you going to give Hope some money and let her shop, or are you going to make her stick with you?
I mean, my offer stands to let anyone borrow whatever they want. Or not even borrow, just use as needed. I think this money's ethereal and it's going to go away when we leave. So let's
All right,
spend
Hope,
it.
well, you're getting your wish. We're going to the markets today to shop, but you'll have to get money from somewhere unless you have a weird plan like Stanley does to Walter White it.
No, she'll stick with Varel and start putting together an outfit, and also keep her eyes
I'm
open.
very curious about what Stanley's doing, but I'm going to do the simple stuff first because it sounds like John's going to not make it simple. What kind of items are you shopping for? What do you want to purchase? Where do you want to go?
Just some basic underclothes, and then some armor to go over it, and then guns. Any place that looks like it might have guns.
Okay. Are you okay with this, Varel? I think you have an agenda too here in some capacity, right?
Yes.
Do you need that done first, or can we do shopping for the characters?
We can do shopping. I can make my appointment later. I would be very insistent that we keep to the stalls of which I have become noted in.
Mm-hmm. Okay, and you'll see that Varel is being recognized by lookers on everywhere he goes. Not necessarily approached, but people might give like a fist pump to Varel as they go by and acknowledge his existence. And traders seem to trade favorably, or at least are very excited when Varel and his entourage visit the stall. So, so I mean, what kind of armor are we buying? This applies to you too, Varel. If you're purchasing items, what do we want to purchase? Are there magic items on the docket? Hope the one thing I'm going to say is that your search for guns is going to turn up very empty.
Okay, that's what I figured. But just in case.
If Varel has made clear that he intends to help get Stanley and Hope back on their feet, Stanley would probably stick around and pick up some basics.
Oh, okay. Like, where's your goal in splitting off just to try and get money because you're too proud?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he'll still probably try and do it.
Okay, well, we can get to that in a bit because we just need to have a session of like, you guys all have nothing equipped, so this is your opportunity to get equipped. So let's talk about what you want to buy. Right. So Nash will probably have to wait to get his clothes because we didn't give him 8 days.
Yep.
To be fully formed. So Varel, for the rest of you, what kind of stuff do you want to buy? Let's get to it. You said, Hope, you want chainmail and I think not chainmail, but scale mail.
Yeah, I mean, ideally she'd like to go with the classic look. Oh, like a leather jacket that also worked as chainmail armor.
Okay. All right. So I mean, we need to. Is this a good time to be doing this kind of stuff, or should we wait till do it offline? Just because I want to.
It's up to you.
Potentially get you guys doing your purchasing right now.
I mean, what we could do is we could do it now. I don't think there's any problem with that. Or we can save it.
I mean, we can also offline put together just a shopping list that I can deduct from my gold, and let's hit up the wizard shops as we rent a spectrometer.
Yeah, because that would be more story stuff. So we could do the shopping after the show, and maybe anything that's more story related now.
Okay. All right. Let's see here. So, okay, so we'll just do that offline then. Because I feel like we have there isn't really much I can do with you guys unequipped completely to progress. So, you wanted to go to a magic shop of some kind?
Yes.
And
What
Stanley
sort
would
of-
need to be there for that anyway, so we'll all go to the magic shop, right?
What sort of magic shop would you like to go to?
Well, we're looking for a crystal spectrometer, right? Wasn't that its name?
An ethereal spectrometer.
An ethereal spectrometer of which to use and me alone use.
Okay, so I imagine you're not sure where to get this, so you would use your celebrity to maybe inquire of some citizens
Yeah.
where a shop that would contain such things. The first person you come across that gives you a positive answer just points to a shop that's down by the edge of the bazaar where there's a building and there appears to be books on the front, sort of the sign, not labeled with the store name necessarily. And so you make your way to the edge of the bazaar into this building, and you see, when you look inside the window, you see that there's an old man in a robe writing in a big ledger book, and that inside it appears to be filled with books in there.
Bookkeep.
Why, yes, hello.
Yes.
Do come in.
Thank you. I'm coming in.
You are a large specimen.
This is true. These are my
lizard?
friends. I wish to make use of your ethereal spectrometer.
He's got he's got whitened hair that's long and a big beard, and his glasses are sitting crooked on his face, and you wish to find an ethereal spectrometer?
Yes.
Okay. Well, this is a bookshop of arcane knowledge. I don't have that kind of equipment here, but I can order one for you. I have a supplier who can procure artifacts and tools of an arcane nature.
What will be the price of this spectrometer?
Yes, well, are you looking for a consumer model or a professional model?
Get the pro one.
I want the pro.
That means professional.
Oh,
An ethereal spectrometer will run you 700 gold pieces
How much
for
is
the
the
professional.
how much is the consumer one?
The consumer one is 100 gold pieces, but it's not known for its reliability.
Varel, didn't you mention you knew someone who had one already?
yes.
Well, then why aren't we there?
Because the church moves around. And I was told to never come back.
I mean, is it 700 gold to own it, or what if he just wants to look through it once?
Well, maybe you know somebody who has one they can loan to you.
The gnomes? All right.
So shall I place an order for this one for you?
How long does it
Uh,
take to get here? How long?
Well, I have to contact my supplier, and if they don't have a made model, they may have to contact the manufacturer and get one made. It
What would I
could
have
be
to
a
roll to
week
see
or
if he's
two.
lying or not?
Well, I mean, it's an insight usually check to read somebody, and they're
Cool. 17 to see if he's lying. If he might have one. And
well, you don't detect any sort of guile or subterfuge on the part of this old man. He looks very earnest in his attempt to get you the product you need, and the fact that he doesn't normally sell these types of items. But then he crooks his head. Well, if you need this equipment right away, as loath as I am to send you to a competitor, you might seek out the equipment shop at the other end of the bazaar. It's run by Largess Apotot.
Largess apple tot.
Yes.
Thank you.
Very well. Is that all today?
Enjoy your books.
All right. So you exit the shop and make your way to Largess's particular shop in the direction he pointed, which was across. And asking for a few directions on the way, you make it down to a side street where there is a large storefront, and it says Largess's on the front, and that there are all these kind of like there are these marionettes in the corner, not M fighting marionettes, just they just like animated kids' toys. It looks sort of like a wonderland of toys, basically. There's little stuffed orcs that like appear to be like just they move ever so slightly, but they're stuffed things. They appear to like do combat moves. And there's like a horse just sort of prancing around on a track in the window. And there's a fair number of clients who are exiting with like large bags that say Largesses on them.
We enter.
Okay. You enter inside, and in the storefront, there is sort of a right section, a left section. On the right, there appear to be these kinds of products, sort of, they're built from smaller pieces, look like small bricks built up into make larger things, there's a horse, and there's a castle, and in the castle, there's appears to be some sort of vampire standing at the top of the castle. And you look to your left and you see that there are a lot of stuffed dolls, there's bugbears and orcs and princesses and knights. And towards the back, there's a set of stairs going up, and there's a clerk's counter where you see a rather rotund lady behind there, dressed very richly, with bright clothes and lots of jewelry. And she is taking gold pieces from an elf, and then she hands a bag down to a little elf boy, and the little elf boy and the parent make their way out of the store.
Excuse me, shopkeep.
Oh, look who we have here. It's a new customer. Welcome to Largess's.
Thank you.
I am Largess Appetot, proprietor of this emporium. Welcome to my store.
I may have been mistaken. It seems I am in some sort of children's shop, but I look for no child equipment.
Well, now, it's, this floor is a children's shop, but I do have equipment and baubles for a more sophisticated collector.
I am looking for a ethereal spectrometer.
Oh, an ethereal spectrometer. And why would you want one of those?
For looking through.
Well, we have glasses as well if you simply need to see more clearly. Are you looking to identify the dead?
Yes.
Well, very well. Follow me. And she makes her way up the stairs, lifting up her skirt a little bit so that she does not trip on it, and moving her way up. Come to the show floor upstairs.
All right.
You make your way up the stairs, moving slowly. And as you make your way to the next room is like darkened, but darkened in kind of like a space museum kind of way. Whereas you get up, you see sort of stars, and there's this infiniteness, this visual trick being played with some sort of magic. And it feels like you're in this showroom in the galaxy. And in various spots throughout the room, there are these pedestals, and atop the pedestals are items sitting in showroom style by themselves. On one there is a large sword, on another one there is what looks to be some sort of a stick, maybe a wand. In another spot you see that there is a bag, large sack. There just seems to be a litany of 30 or 40 different items. And she looks to you and she says, Is there an item of magical nature that you are looking for? I'm sure we can find one for you here.
The
But
spectrometer, please.
your heart sings for a spectrometer. Follow me. And you sort of wave your way through different pedestals, and she almost is able to move them with her hand as one pedestal's in the way. Rather than walking around, she takes her hand and she moves the pedestal to the left and brings you to a pedestal. But just before she gets to it, she stops and then she summons it closer, and it sort of, without making any sound, floats to her. And you see a pair of glasses with a little crystal attached to the top, hanging in front of the glasses. These are a pair of Treverson ethereal spectrometers made right here in Sigil with a crystal from a mine in Pandemonium. A rare item indeed.
I see.
Ask her how much.
Would you like to try them on?
Yes, maybe we should try them on, see if they fit.
Yes, we do need to make sure they work for lizards.
Oh, these are not made for a lizard folk's face. One moment. And she takes them up in her hand and she waves her hand, and the glasses change shape so that they'll fit on your eyes properly to the side. She just magically changes their shape. And then she goes, now kneel down so I can place them on your face.
All right, Anil.
Kneels, she places them on your face. She said, good, why don't you take them for a test drive?
I'll immediately look at Hope and Stanley.
Okay. And you look through the glasses and you just see nothing changes. You see the crystal dangling there. Largess says, oh, do you know how to work them?
I'm sorry, I do not.
All right, well, just there's a dial on the side there. Just turn it to the intensity that you're searching for.
I do
Go
so.
ahead now, like this. Okay, and you turn them. You turn it as you turn it. Your rather than grayscale it, your vision turns to ethereal scale. So you're seeing in shades of blue to white, dark and high, and there's this wispy energy that's emitting off all the living creatures in the room. You don't see anything that shouldn't belong there in that room. But you do notice that there are shining outlines of Largess, Nash, Hope, and Stanley before you.
And there's nothing. And there's no difference between the outline on Largess and my three companions.
No, they all seem to share similar outline of white.
I crank it to whatever maximum.
Okay, so you begin to crank it to maximum, and your eyes are just filled with this white light. It's like too intense.
Crank it back.
Crank it back. And you do remember that Squirts and that also the other halflings beneath who were collecting corpses for the Dustmen did examine something on the neck. You seem to remember that there was like a serial number or something they were looking for.
Oh, these were great. And I will kind of walk by my companions and just stare straight at Stanley's neck for a hot second as I walk.
Okay.
Sort of, like, like I'm trying on shoes,
Yeah,
Just,
yeah, sure. You make a show of it. Let's get a perception check and a deception check, please.
Wait, am I deceiving?
No.
Oh, I
Vorel
was gonna
is.
say I'm gonna let him do it.
Well, Vorel's pretending to just be trying the glasses on, but he's
Oh, I
secretly trying
gotcha.
to use them for his purpose.
I got a 23 on the perception and on the deception a 5.
Whoa.
Okay, so you look at Stanley's neck and you see Stanley Billings' name there. You see some text scrawled in Infernal. And you see it glowing there. And just as you're getting the view of that on Stanley's neck, Largess opens and says, Now, I would let you can try them on, but you can't be examining things that detail, you'll have to purchase them. And she comes and she lifts them gently from your eyes.
My apologies for my excitement. How
That's
much are they?
okay. Well, these are Treverson models. They are 1,400 gold pieces.
Holy shit.
Excellent. What else in here might interest me and my companions?
You'll not be taking the ethereal spectrometer today?
We are making a great deal of many purchases, and we may be looking for other
Oh.
items as well.
Then would you like me to hold these at the counter for you?
That would be lovely.
All right. And then a hand sort of appears from nowhere and picks up the ethereal spectrometer, and it floats off towards the downstairs where the cash is. What else can I interest you in today? We have all sorts of magical wonders and contraptions to delight the mind.
Friends?
Do you have anything that accelerates the growth of human tissue?
No, unfortunately. Might I recommend a cleric or a physician? Someone in the medical field to help you with the growth of tissue?
Well, the only cleric I know is a trash monkey, but good advice. Thank you.
Some kind of there is talk of magic users with the ability to regrow limbs using a spell called regeneration. Perhaps you can find one with such knowledge if you're having a bit of difficulty. It looks very uncomfortable.
It is. I'd like to be done with this, so I'll take your advice. I appreciate it.
Well, perhaps if you don't know what you're looking for, we can start by showing you some of our excellent material. I have something. You look like you're a strong, formidable warrior, Lizard Man.
This is true.
Yeah, so perhaps you'd like this. And she moves over to one of the pedestals, bringing it forward, and atop it is this jeweled scimitar. In the hilt is gold, and it has all kinds of gems in it, and the scimitar is vicious and curved. And she says, for just 6,000 gold pieces, this very scimitar could be yours. It's a scimitar which blesses its wielder with speed.
Fascinating.
Is that something that you think you'd be interested in?
Oh, I'm very interested in a great deal of many things, but I'm afraid I have another appointment.
Oh? Oh, how unfortunate.
Yes. I am meeting the Modrons at my inn.
Deception check, please.
Well, it's not technically a lie. Part of it is.
Partial perception check.
It's the first time you've
8.
ever mentioned Modrons to the DM. 8. She, clearly not buying the lie, but not really having a reason to argue with you, goes, well then, will you not be taking the ethereal spectrometer after all?
Not today, though it is on the top of my list. I shall return.
And certainly you wouldn't have tried to talk your way in here just to use the ethereal spectrometer on your friend. Without an intent to buy, of course not.
That would be quite foolish.
Why would he do that? I'm a living being, clearly, just like anybody else. What good would using it on me be?
She looks at you, she looks back. You're a couple of clueless Burks, aren't you?
Berkey as they
okay.
come.
All are welcome here. Sir Elf, ethereal spectrometers are used on the living as much as the dead. And those who know what an ethereal spectrometer does would know that.
Oh, well, I at no point claim to know what an ethereal spectrometer does. I'm simply making a guess.
Well, perhaps your friend can explain it to you as before he meets with his Modron appointment.
I will interrupt her awkward bullshittery and say, one more thing. Do you carry arcane focus type items, devices, things that someone skilled in the arcane could use? It's not really a weapon. You see, I'm looking for something. You hear that, Lady of Pain? It's not a weapon, okay? I say out loud.
Oh, don't invoke the Lady of Pain's name. We don't want to bring that kind of problem on our heads.
You're telling me.
An arcane focus, why yes. And she waves her hands, and a pedestal flies through the stars and comes towards nearby. And you see, what sort of shape of arcane focus do you like? Take a look.
What
And
do you?
upon the pedestal, you see a crystal ball.
Okay.
You see a totem.
Okay.
It's literally made of wood and has a bunch of faces on it. And you also see what appears to be a skull.
Ooh. How much is the skull?
With gems stuck in its eyes.
How much is the skull, I'd say?
Yes. The styling of arcane sources very much in demand for more of our edgy clients, those who take things to extremes when it comes to displaying their magical prowess. It is, however, our most expensive option, but let me consult. And a book appears in her hand, poof, and she begins flipping through the book magically. Let me consult the speed, and now the DM is looking up the price of it.
All right.
So you may talk amongst yourselves as I figure the answer to your question out. So don't.
Vorel, what's a modron?
Did I get that right, DM?
Modron is the pronunciation, yes?
Okay, cool. These crazy little creatures that build big smackums.
What a big smackums.
It's the puppet show I was telling you about.
Wait a minute, you won this kind of money doing a puppet show?
It was a battle puppet show. It's a big crowd. Cabbage was thrown at me intensely.
You've never done this before, but you're the champion of it?
Champion, yes. There's another tournament this weekend, and if we run out of money, I'm going to have to compete again.
So it turns out you're extremely good at this.
In a sense, yes. I had help.
And why was the cabbage involved?
They were very angry because I killed a child, but it was not true.
A lot has happened in 5 days.
I have the price here for you, Mr.
His name is Varel.
Nope, talking to you.
Oh. Oh, I'm Mr. Maggard, thank you.
Well, Mr. Maggard, I've looked up the price of the skull. It would be 50 gold pieces.
Not laughing at the price. I'll take it, and I'll pay her 50 of my gold.
Oh, well, you can pay at the counter down below.
Oh, okay, cool.
We'll send it to the checkout.
Awesome.
And another hand appears and takes it downstairs.
All right.
Well, I'm glad we were able to find something for you.
This was most delightful. This was my favorite shopping experience yet. Do you sell?
Well, I take pride in our shop.
No, very good. Do you sell, perhaps, in your dolls downstairs, big smackums?
Big Time Smackaroo. Or wait, no. Sorry. Big Time Smackin' Brothers. Are you a player?
I am.
Oh,
He's that Varel.
you're Varel. You were the champion of the Big Time Smackin' Brothers tournament this weekend past. What an honor. And she curtsies very deeply before you. What an honor to have such an illustrious guest in my shop.
Oh,
You should have said something.
You should give him free things.
Now, Nash, we are respectful customers, and we have made use of your time. I am about to purchase an inn.
Oh.
An inn that will feature a big-time smackaroo cabinet.
Well, you're just in luck. Those are the kinds of items that we sell here at Largess. I imagine you're looking for the professional model and not a consumer installation?
Yes.
Well, we do offer them here. They are quite expensive, and you seem to have had some aversion to higher prices.
Well, we are just getting going after all.
Well, the professional edition will cost you 1,200 gold pieces. But the installation will be free.
For the worldwide champion of Smack'em, you can't muster a deal.
No, Nash.
Well, you might be able to if someone attempts the check.
By the way, all this behavior around money at a shopping place, literally, this is Scott Johnson at the mall, and I'm not kidding. This is how I behave. I haggle on everything. I can't stand how expensive everything is. I'm a total pain in the ass. I'm super cheap when I go to a mall. So just for fun little frugal is the word. I'm very careful. I want to try stuff out. If I smell a deal, I'll get it. That skull's a sweet price. Like, just a good magnifying glass into my actual life. All right, sorry. Continue.
It's 30 gold more than the most expensive focus in the PHP, but okay.
He's got himself a deal.
No, this is
Nash Magard.
This is part of it. This is part of it.
Deal, he took it.
This is part of it because I think I'm being that, but I'm actually kind of bad at it, and I'll walk away with not a good deal, but I think I did. This is so true, all of it. Kim could confirm it all. But anyway, go ahead. Sorry.
Self-awareness is good.
Yeah.
All right. So are you 1,200 is the price. Are you going to do anything, or are you going to just take it at a price at face value, Varel? Nash has expressed that you should.
Is that the price with all the heroes unlocked?
The price, yes, will have all the heroes unlocked, but any new heroes will be an additional fee as they're released.
Well, that is a better price than the one that I had discussed earlier. This pleases me greatly.
1,200 gold pieces? That's a good deal, I think.
Yes. Yes, let us make a deal.
Very good. Then we don't have them here on the show floor for you, the professional edition, just the consumer ones. But if you give us your address where you'd like it installed, I will send my workers there to deliver it. When do you need it for?
Before this next weekend, ideally.
Oh, perfect. We can have people out there in 2 days.
Excellent.
Well, let me write that down. 1,200 for an M fighting machine. And 50 for the skull arcane swords. Yeah. Okay. Was there anything else that I could assist you with today, Varel, or any of your friends?
Would anyone else like to procure an item from the shop?
Honestly, Varel, as you know, I have no means, and honestly, I don't know what I need. I need everything, and it seems maybe this is a bit more pricey than what we should be looking at this time.
Stanley, my true friend, of which is real, and I now have no doubt. You may find something you need here. Surely your many magics require something like Nash.
Well, I don't know. I've never tried channeling magics through anything other than the megaphone, which is gone now. But
do you miss it? Do you miss your megaphone and your sword diplomacy? Do you miss them?
Yes, Nash. Yes, I do. Thank you.
So happy they're back together.
I'm not sure. The ability came from being able to project my voice. I don't suppose you have anything that can do that.
To project your voice. Well, if I understood the conversation correctly, you also require an arcane focus of some kind, yes?
That's correct.
But your arcane focus made your voice louder?
Yes, it was an amplification.
I don't have such an item as this here. We do have focuses. We do have musical instruments that can make your voice louder in a manner of speaking.
What do you have in that regard?
Well, I've got some horns and some trumpets and a lute. They serve to make loud noises, and you use your breath to blow in them. So, similar.
Are they magical items?
Well, they serve to help you with your magic as focuses. Yes, they've been processed by the local mage to imbue them with the power of arcane energy. They have some for druidic energy as well.
I don't know. Blowing in a horn doesn't exactly have the same effect.
I would find it inspiring.
Really? You've never heard me blow in a horn before?
Beep, 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 beep.
I just love the idea of you melting the faces while going.
Yeah. I like it too.
Actually, I'm supposed to be proficient with the horn. I don't know what happened with that, but it is supposed to be on my proficiencies.
Those are the kinds of things you might have picked because when you go through character creation, it tells you have these things, but you were very specific about, I'm an orator and I just yell, you know?
Yeah.
But you are a bard, and I would let you use a musical instrument, which is your default focus. But you're not in Kansas anymore. And all the lovely technological developments of Earth are not necessarily commonplace in this medieval-looking world that you find yourself in, it seems.
Yes, I think I'm going to do without the instrument for right now. Thank you very much.
Well, okay, if I see anything fitting your description that a thing that makes a voice louder, I'll let you know.
I appreciate it.
Okay, then. Was there anything else that I can find for the lovely Vorel and his friends?
Hope?
No.
You don't carry
What?
guns here, right? I'll say in a low tone.
Guns.
Yeah. You know, a projectile style.
This is not an equipment shop, but we do have some magical weapons. I may have a crossbow or a bow.
Whoa.
That is a weapon
Are you allowed to
that
do
your
that?
lovely friend is looking for. But
Are
we don't carry common weapons. The ones we have are quite expensive.
Are you allowed to sell weapons?
Certainly.
Aren't you worried about the Lady of Pain?
No.
Are you the Lady of Pain?
Heavens, no.
All right.
If I was a lady of pain, I'd get rid of all the miscreants from the hive here. You know, the poor and destitute. They're a blight in Sigil. I'd open up a big portal and dump them all in the abyss.
Jeez.
Well,
That escalated quickly.
I am a purveyor of fine craftsmanship and items, and also of fine people. There's a certain kind of people that simply do not merit the air they breathe. It would be better if they were put into a hole
What?
where they're
Well,
wanted. The Abyss would love to have an influx of servants.
I think maybe we should check out then. That sounds like we've all found what we're looking for and learned so much about one another.
Oh, she laughs. I see I've made you uncomfortable with my comments about the poor.
Nope, just running real late for
You're meeting with the Modrons. I
Yep,
got
that's
it.
it. The Modrons.
Yes, the Modrons.
We need to see the Modrons.
Very well, Varel. Come with me to the counter and we'll ring up your purchases. She
I
brings
do
you
so.
back downstairs. You go to the counter, and so the ethereal spectrometer is there. And she's like, "Are you certain I can't interest you in this ethereal spectrometer?"
I may return for it still, but for now, the expenses on the inn stand as my main goal.
All right, and so put this back, and one of the ethereal hands picks up the spectrometer and floats back up the steps to the second floor with him. So do you need a box or a bag for your crystal skull, Mr. Maggard?
Do you have paper bag?
Yes, we have some made of paper.
That's a more ecological choice. I'll take the paper bag.
All right, so she takes the skull and she puts it in the bag. It doesn't give you the bag yet, but the bag is sort of this gold fancy bag with two little handles on the top. So that'll be 1,250 gold pieces, Varel.
Varel, you should pay it, and then I'll pay you back. I'll give you the 50 later.
Dash, that's fine. Yes, and I will pay her the 1,250 gold.
Okay, so you open up the gold sack and take out the gold, and it's a large amount, so it takes a long time to count up. Like a solid 10 minutes goes by as the gold is counted up, and she seems to deposit it in a safe by the counter. And she says, "Thank you very much for your business, Pharrell. We will be what address? Where are we delivering this marionette station to?"
The Soggy Feather.
Okay, and that is in the merchant ward.
Correct?
Okay. I think I know the place. It's near the reception center for new arrivals to Sigil.
The very same.
Good, good, good. Excellent. Well, I'm so pleased to have such rich and wonderful customers today. Thank you. Remember to tell your friends about the great service you received at Largess's Emporium.
We will.
We won't tell them at all about your classism or your racism.
Nash.
Oh, sorry. Loud part quiet, quiet part loud. Thank you very much.
I'm not a racist.
We gotta go. Thank you for the
Not
skull.
classist either.
Okay. Good luck.
All right, you exit Largess's Emporium. Nash, you're holding a gold bag. It says Largess's on it.
All right.
Perhaps we should avoid asking people what they do if they were Lady of Pain.
It seems to get us answers of more information than we may have wanted.
Yeah. I don't disagree. I will no longer ask.
Now, what about the clicks that were mentioned earlier? Who might know where the portals are?
Oh, yes. I have no idea where that district is.
I don't either.
I mean, we could certainly ask around, see if anybody else is aware.
We'll walk back into Largess's and ask her where the clerks are.
All right, you walk back in, and Largess looks up from the counter and says, "Oh, you're back already. Might I say that you are a lovely tiefling woman. Very
Thank
beautiful.
you. Thank you. We were wondering where the clerks resided and how to get there.
The clerks? You mean the clerk's ward?
Yes.
Yes, it's due east from here. It is a long walk. It may take you several hours to get there. So you should hire the services of one of the... I'm missing the word. A taxi service.
Thank you. And then
Alright.
Hope will leave.
Have a nice day.
All right, we go east, but she said it's a long walk, so we should use a taxi?
All right. How do we get a taxi?
How did you find anything while we were gone?
Well, we robbed a library.
Hope started to leave to go up to a shopkeep and ask how to get a taxi.
Back into Largesses or find a different shopkeep?
I figure they're outdoor merchants. Yeah.
Well, yeah, not on this street. This side street has a few shops, so there appears to be some sort of, it looks like an academic place filled with books, and then there's another shop that appears to be selling drawers and dressers and furnitures that you noticed nearby.
Team meeting. Team. Heroes of the waist. Cuddle around.
Cuddle around.
All right. And I put my arms up, and I want y'all to get in my umbrella.
Hope will reluctantly get within the umbrella.
All right.
All right.
Okay, Nash, you finalize the circle.
All
Hover
right.
over here, Nash.
All right. I'll hover in, and one tiny hand on Varel's skin or scales, and the other bigger hand around whoever's I'm next to.
All right. We've learned a lot in the shop. These people are crazy. They've all been crazy since I've gotten here, but now we're rich, and they're still crazy. We need to play the part. The part.
What part?
What part?
You mean like lemon tree part?
Not yet.
Oh, all right. And by the way, before you say anything, remember this lady of pain can supposedly hear anything. It doesn't matter. She's kind of surveilling all the time. So I'm just saying, whatever you're about to say, just remember what we saw that one time. Just lady of pain.
This is more. She can listen. This is more about like team spirit.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I think. Bo, what was the dude? Tatooine. What's the cloth merchant?
Tatooine.
Oh shit.
McClunky.
Yeah, I don't remember it. I have it probably written down somewhere.
Tibbles.
Oh, I know what
same
you're
name
talking
twice.
about. Lahar, I think.
Oh yeah,
Lohar.
Lohar.
Yeah, that's it. Yep.
Yeah.
All right.
Tatooine.
We need to play the part. Today I have purchased a big Smack'ems machine so I can give lessons. I am also going to own an inn. I will continue to make money for us, but we must play the part. I know an excellent clothing merchant. We should become dressed, well received, and we will get the answers we need from this city.
All right. What part exactly are you wanting us all to play?
The rich part.
Oh.
We need to look good. We need to impress with our presence. We need answers from people. We can't beat it out of them. The Lady of Pain will appear. We must convince them that we are loaded.
How exactly does that aid us?
Because when we are loaded, they will do what we want.
We get information.
From people who want money.
Well, people seem to flock to this inn to see you. And if you're getting one of these machines that you're so notorious for there, that's only going to draw a bigger crowd.
Mm-hmm.
Seems like we're going to have a source of information readily coming to us on a nightly basis.
And you are dressed in rags or some sort of sport, and you are unfitted, Hope. And Nash requires time. But when he reappears, he will need clothes as well. Let us go to Lohar and outfit ourselves as rich men.
Varel,
Okay.
quick question. Have you ever seen what the rich wear here?
I assume?
Because it's not like Tiet Kala where I set the fashion.
Then we will ask Lohar. He's very excited to see me.
I thought everybody booed you.
That was before I exposed the man for being a hotel.
I have many questions, but we can put that on hold to proceed.
To Lohar's, then.
All right. If there's no objection, the party makes their way to the stall in the center of the bazaar, Lohar's famous stall. And it's there's an orc there, and he looks to you and he says, "Oh, I'm glad to see this one again. It is Varel, great champion of the M Sports Fighting League. Welcome. How has your cape served you this weekend?"
Lohar, my cape protected me from the hail of vegetation, which I received before I was victorious.
Well, they did not like the fact that you murdered a child.
But I did not do it. I was absolved of this crime.
Is that true?
It is true. You may read the new M Sports publication.
Oh, I haven't gotten to reading it yet. I most certainly will. I thought that you had murdered a child. You know, I thought that was a very clever ploy.
Between you and me, it made an excellent story for the day.
Yes, I thought it might. I have to watch you. Don't want you to take advantage of me and my marvelous deals.
Well, today I may go for just that, for I have an entourage here who I want to look fabulous, to make sure I am well known when I arrive.
Does the market hear this? Varel Rasvim Kurik, the great champion of the M Sports League, who dethroned Kanja and exposed him for the fraud he is, has chosen Lohar's stall in which to purchase clothes. You should come and purchase clothes too before all the fabric is gone. If you want to be a part of history. And then immediately clients start swarming the stall, and his clerks begin helping them as you know, members of all races and creeds begin trying to look at the quality of the cloth and purchase clothes.
Hope's gonna look at these people that are swarming in and try and gauge their wealth status.
Their wealth status seems that none of these people are poor. They have funds. They have large coin purses attached to their belts. And they look very happy, almost like sheep being led to slaughter. From your vicious upbringing, you guys don't really see people whose sole existence surrounds like eating, shopping, social events, and then repetition. So they're all people that look weak to you.
Okay, weak but rich.
They have money. So you wish to clothe you and your friends. And what sort of styling shall we go for?
This here is my good friend Stanley. He enjoys the finer things as well. Stanley.
Stanley, hello.
Hello. It's good to meet you, Aloha.
Now tell me, Stanley, do you prefer the Witherford style or the Lacandra style?
To be completely honest with you, Loha, I am fairly new here and I don't understand the difference between either. Can you explain it to me?
Pharrell, do you think he's more of a Weatherford man?
He does have the Weatherford tongue.
Does he now? Very well. We shall fit you from Varel's request with some of the finest clothings in the Weatherford style. Yes, perhaps some mani. And do you prefer a bow tie or a tie or a scarf?
A scarf would be preferable of those options.
Right. And what sort of leggings do you wear? You have a preferred color?
Traditionally, I've taken to wearing white, silvers, blue. Any of those colors will suffice. I once had a purple cloak I was extremely fond of.
And how do you feel about bells?
No, thank you.
No? Okay.
Oh, come on, Stanley. Put on a bell.
And what
I
sort of
will-
chapeau can we fit you with? Do you prefer a square top, or do you prefer something that flaps like a beret?
I leave that to your keen eye and discretion.
Square top it is. Very good. And who's next?
Hope you should go.
Hope will
Wow.
step forward.
Exquisite. Do you are you more of a one moment? The DM's inventing things. Do you prefer the Manchester style or the Lactensia style?
Whichever one is most daring at the moment.
Daring, I like it. And do you have an aversion to showing your ankles?
No.
And what sort of colors are your preference?
Blacks and golds.
Blacks and gold. Ooh. Very opulent. Very decadent. I like it. We'll fit you with the Manchester style. Black and gold. Do you like bells on your clothes?
No.
All right. And what of jewelry? Do you wear jewelry?
Opals.
Opals? And what sort of oils do you put on your face?
Rose smelling.
I have a good lead-based mascara.
That seems healthy.
Opal grumpily nod.
Right then. And any other accessories that you prefer? What of a bag?
Yes.
Small or large? I tell you, all the ladies of the courts right now are sporting a small handbag.
Give me a large one.
I wish to be different. That's good. It's a bit retro to have the large bag. Very good. That's all the information I need to assemble a fine piece of proper formal wear for you. Now, I don't know what I can do for your friend here.
Do you
Vorel.
have any do you have anything
Tablecloths?
do you have anything here that spurs the growth of natural flesh and tissue?
Well, you seem to have grown an extra arm or two since I last saw you.
Yeah,
So I'm worried anything I make might no longer fit.
it's a fair point.
Yeah, Nash, why don't you order something for how you're eventually gonna look instead of how you are right now?
That's a good idea. Can we do that? Is that a plan that I can do here at your store?
It's quite expensive to get formal wear, and I'd like for it to look good on you. So I will deny this request. Come to me when you're fully formed.
Okay. Should be any minute now.
Yep, doesn't seem to actually be the case, but
And Vorel, what of you? Do you wish to finally don the clothes of civilization?
It seems I am purchasing an inn, and I require clothes that befit someone serving food. But I wish to elevate this establishment.
Yes, do not have such low self-esteem about being a barkeep. Being a barkeep is a state of mind. If you feel that you are a poor barkeep, you will wear rags. If you feel that you have a rich inn, you should wear what you feel.
I agree. And in such a city as this, those who enter should see the proprietor, the owner of this establishment, and coins should pour from their pockets.
So what of a rich tuxedo?
Well, that is interesting.
Do you wear bow ties? A regular tie?
This bow tie. It interests me. Could we perhaps accentuate my lizard form with some sort of sleeveless attire.
Certainly, we can make the tuxedo without sleeves, although that's highly out of fashion. I might not recommend it.
No, well,
If you wish to keep within fashion, no one wears sleeveless shirts at formal events.
very well.
You would be seen to be a savage. Meaning no offense. I know.
None taken. Very well,
A little taken.
Nash.
Sorry.
Dress me as befits the finest barkeep, and we shall turn the soggy feather into the golden feather.
Right, so tuxedo with traditional shoes. We're going to keep you very simple but bold. And I ask you one core question about accessories, cufflinks. Do you know what those are?
Cuff.
We'll put cufflinks as part of this. Would you be willing to wear a monocle?
I'm
So I have this look, and he brings up his hands, sort of like in a square, and he's. I think that in order to give you the dignity that you search for, a monocle is in order.
yes.
Stanley
Equip
knows
me.
exactly what a monocle is and goes, "You should probably do it, Varel."
Do it.
Yes,
Trust me,
equip me
I-
with all the dignity you have.
I have had 20 years making fashions for the richest of clients through Sigil. I will not steer you wrong.
Let it be done.
Very good.
Amazing.
So it'll take some time to prepare it. If you would come this way and allow my clerks to take your measurements, we will fabricate the clothes. And please allow 3 to 4 days. These are fine clothes. We will work on it as quickly as possible, but we will not have them done today.
That is understandable.
Now, it is customary to have a down payment for half. Each of your fine clothes will come to 10 gold pieces each. So please give me 15 gold, and we will accept the rest upon delivery of the clothing.
These prices, and I say aloud, are fair and just. I pay them with great pleasure.
And you see more people look up and look around and approach the stalls and check out the fabrics. And then also performing, Lohar says, I am humbled by Vorel's compliment. Thank you, sir. You are most gracious.
15 gold removed.
Perfect.
I got a real Commander Shepard vibe out of that, by the
Yeah.
way.
So do you guys agree to let your measurements be taken? Some halflings come forward, and there's this little step stool that you can step on, and they step on their own step stools. And some of the step stools have second step stools, so they can climb up even higher. And they do all the measurements for all of you. Perfect. The orders are placed, the measurements are in, and after an hour goes by, you're done at Lohar's stall.
Sweet.
We need a taxi to go east.
Not yet. Look the part. We cannot be thrown into the abyss, as Applegate said. Appleton.
Apple tot.
Appleton.
We must play this town's game, Hope. I've been here 4 whole days, and I've learned this. They were long days.
Well, because we're now landing in towards the end of the show, this might be a good point in which to allow the couple of days to elapse and let your orders fulfill. Okay, so a day or two goes by, and the M fighting machine is now installed at Bill's. And Bill was apprehensive at first, but once you explained that it was he could share in some of the profits from it, and that it would bring more clients to the inn, he was very happy about the prospect and allowed you to install it. And it gets installed with no problem. You now have a fully 16 fighters available stall of M fighting games, and you've even tried to play a few games, and it's wonderful. It works. It's a very high quality stall. You guys all get the delivery of your clothes, and you pay cash on delivery, the 15 gold, and you receive your finery. And Nash, since how many days are we going to let elapse before we do anything?
Well,
Sounds like
8.
the delivery of the clothes is contingent on on the situation. So
I want 8. Whoops, because you said 8 days to fully nash myself back to normal. That's what I want. Is that long.
Well, I know that's what you want. It's just your party members might not let that many days elapse, so they have to agree to it.
All right.
I mean, if we want to fast forward 8 days, and I think I'm okay with that. 8 days of getting all our stuff together.
Hope gets progressively more huffy.
Yeah. In the time between, well, it doesn't mean you don't do nothing, but it won't be anything life changing. But I want you to think about during your week off, okay, the equipment that you're going to shop for to rebuild your character, so we can get back to playing regular D&D and fighting bad guys and stuff like that. Think about that. We don't have a ton of money, and a lot of magic items cost a lot. And I don't think Varel has big dreams, so I don't think he really wants to spend large amounts of money on your magic items. So I would look for basic items that are reasonable. That you'll have to ask him. I'm going to spend 100, can I? And he's the master of coin that has all the coins. So figure out what he'll agree to buy over the course of this week. Figure out what your activities might be. Hope if you're feeling restless, you might be out skulking every night, Batman style, looking for information or something like that. I mean, think about what you might get up to on your own. You don't have to spend every waking hour with each other. And that way we'll be better prepared next week. It might even involve you learning information about the world so that you're better, in sync with what's going on, and we'll do it that way. All right.
All right.
Congratulations to Hope and Stanley for making it back to the land of the living for now.
Hey, we're back.
For now.
And, I'm looking forward to the trouble you get into next. The team dynamic is already back in this comfortable place where everything's going wrong really quickly. So I'm excited.
Yeah. I do hope, sorry for the use of the term hope, but I do hope that somehow, for some reason, we have to do something with the trash monkey again. Meaningful, because I really, if I'm going to miss anything in this game, I think I'm going to miss Squirts the most. If we ever get out of Sigil, so we'll see how it goes. Anyway, welcome back to those two chuckleheads, and all you at home, welcome back to another ending of this episode. Hey, it was great. Did you know we have our own little homegrown, hand-built support system? It's called Dungeons Plus, which you can sign up for immediately. There's a lot of people already in there. And if you do, you get access to all sorts of stuff, including, no matter what level you come in at, access to a monthly bonus show, which we'll record next week. And that thing is full of your questions, your comments, and us responding to them. Big Q&A, kind of roundhouse sort of thing. And we only do that for our members a good week before we put it out on the main feed. So if you would like to get that, get it fresh and hot by joining up today. Become a patron of Dungeons in our new Dungeons Plus program over at therewillbedungeons.com. Could not recommend that enough. It's been great working with you guys on that. And thanks to everybody who already supports us there. There's other great things you can get, so go read up all about it. Again, therewillbedungeons.com. I think that's going to do it for all of us. Thank you all for joining us. Thank you for being here. Find the show at therewillbedungeons.com. You find all our Twitter accounts, all our other stuff if you're trying to get a hold of one of us. Ask Bo a DM question. Tell Kristen how rad Squirts is, that sort of stuff. Do it there. That's going to do it for us. For me, for Kyle, for Kristen, for John, for Bo. And for all of you. We'll see you next time. This show is part of the Frog Pants Network.
Frog Pants Network.
Get more shows like this at frogpants.com. Well done.
We did it.
We did
Yeah.
it.